Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to Skip Bayless Seriously Humiliated Part 1. So, Skip Bayless throughout his career said some pretty stupid, questionable things out there. A lot of delusions and just like, who the hell thinks this way? Now, I want to know from you guys straight up. Do you feel like Skip Bayless is actually that stupid? Or do you feel like he knows exactly like where his audience is? He knows exactly what to say just to get out of nerves, and he does it simply just because like it's part of his career and it gets him like clicks and stuff like that? Or do you feel like he's actually serious? I feel like it's probably a little mix of both. I feel like he does have some delusions to him, but for the most part though, he knows what the people want. Well, I guess what the people don't want to hear, and as a result, we argue about it. So here we go. Let's get going. By the way, Mark Cuban, he's a GOAT.
With Skip.
It's not just Skip, it's sports writers, sports media in general, where everything's generalities, right?
Yes, sir.
Excruciating pressure. What
Big fancy words.
that, right? You know,
It was
need
excruciating pressure. That's what it was.
Is that meaning what, Skip?
Meaning that you personally watched up close and personal what LeBron went through last year against your Dallas Mavericks. Was it not the biggest collapse of a superstar that we've ever witnessed on a
biggest
finals
collapse.
or championship stage?
I mean, my tape speaks for itself. My tape is my resume. That's what I leave it up to. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Skip can say whatever he wants, but Skip, whenever you refer to me, whenever you speak to me, whenever you address me as all-pro Stanford graduate.
Yes, sir.
Because those are some accomplishments you can aspire to, you will never accomplish.
Okay.
You have never accomplished anything.
Oh.
So, but
well, damn, Sherman, like, okay, I don't always agree with Skip Bayless says, but to say the man has not accomplished anything, like, just because somebody's not accomplished what you accomplish does not mean you didn't accomplish anything. Like, let's be 100 about that. Like, Skip Bayless has accomplished stuff. I don't make him any smarter, but still, he's accomplished stuff.
those things are on my resume. Those are what I've done. It's my second year in the NFL, going on my third. I mean, you tell me who's wrong.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Stephen A. Smith's like, I'm not touching this one.
Than you have in yours, though you're just getting started.
So I'm the top of my field. So I'm all pro. I'm the best, one of the best 22 players in the NFL. You're going to brush it off, but I don't think you're the best 22 anything in sports.
Not best 22 anything, bro. Top 22 troll. Stephen A. Smith, that looked like a damn, just like some like JPEG or something, bro. Like he just sitting there like, okay, you all just go at it, man. And by the way, just a little pet peeve. The cropping of this right here is pissing me off so much. Like, come on, man. Like, why is there that space right there? Y'all need to move the camera over just a little bit. It's just pissing me off. I'm sorry.
In media and anything. I think you think more of yourself than you actually can, prove.
No, I mean, first of all, it's a team game. Right, you guys like to talk in complete generalities where no one can question you, right? You don't ever use facts. You don't ever use substance. You don't ever
use facts.
No.
That's all I use on this show.
Well, I don't know about that.
Pressure, undeniable this. You know, it's just all generalities.
There's never been a star under more pressure going into a finals, a championship series or game than LeBron James was under after 9
But what's
years
the facts
and
to back it up?
3 league MVPs.
Is that the
First
facts?
of all, you have the presumption that people care what you say. They don't. That when
Well,
guys
fine.
go out there, when guys
That's your
go out there,
opinion.
no, I'm talking about media in general. When guys get ready to play and they're in the locker room, they're
Well, like, how about like the savage thing about him, man, is that like he literally like insults you, and then he kind of pulls back on it, and then he just kind of goes all in again. Like he's like, nobody cares what you think. No, just media in general. Like he's like, I don't know. It's just kind of savage.
They're not thinking, okay, well, what's written, what's going to be written, what's being said, right? I mean, they're getting prepared. And if you've got a good coach and you've got a good culture, then guys are ready to play no matter what. Like you guys were just talking about, Miami wanted it more or less. Like that is just such horse you-know-what, right? There's no such thing as it's not that Oklahoma City don't want it more. I think Miami was better prepared to play the game than Oklahoma City in terms of adjustments and changes. Now, if you want to start talking.
And that's what's wrong with the media these days. The media is just like, y'all might as well just switch ESPN to Lifetime. Or Oxygen. Is Oxygen even still around? I don't know, man. But regardless, like, you just got all these, like, these dramatized little things going on, like these headlines that you add to the NBA. But when the fact of the matter is that it just simply comes down to sometimes teams are better than other teams. And that's what it is. Like, I don't know, man.
Talk about double teams and how they were used, whether or not they should have played zone.
Oh, you never hear Skip Bayless talk about that. If it's NBA knowledge.
That's a valid conversation. But just saying they wanted it more, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
When you're Kevin Durant and you're Derek Fisher and you're Russell Westbrook, etc., and you're at that closeout game, There's nobody that wants it more. It's just a
Right.
question of who executes better, and then you decide why.
Who
once you
played
make-
harder in the last games? Miami did every game. LeBron played harder than Kevin Durant did.
Played harder or played
That
better?
is the most ridiculous thing any sports writer has ever said. Now, if you think when Kevin Durant walked off the court, he thought, yeah, I didn't play quite hard enough, right? Now, you can say like he wasn't put in a position to succeed. You could say that they didn't run the right plays. They didn't get the ball to him.
Better
on the
is
block
different than
enough. And
harder,
if
by
you
the
were
way.
smart, you'd come out and you'd have substance. You say, you know what? This is how many plays they ran to him on the block. Here's how Miami defended it. Now, you can also argue that the Pat Riley way is always the same way all the time. Miami played it the same way all the time, and then we can have a discussion about adjustments. Like,
Okay. Do you
I'll
think
put
you're
it like
better
this.
than
I'll
Darrell
put
it like
Reeves
this.
is right now?
In my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you. So
Okay.
let's,
All right, that's
let's
fair.
Get, let's
All
get
right,
let's
all
get down
right,
to
well,
that.
let's not get personal here.
He
I just
already
wanna
did.
know,
Just not
do you,
He
do you
already
think
did.
you're better than Darrell Reeves is right now?
I'm better than you. So
I'm
I
cringing,
have
man.
nothing to say about him. I mean, that's pretty much done. My numbers speak for themselves.
Now you want to trash talk me, which is totally cool with me.
You don't sound
I
like
actually
it.
on a campaign to do a lot of community service. I'm
Okay,
in
I
LA.
know
That's
you
what I'm
are
in
at your
LA
high
for.
school.
I'm
We're going to talk
in
about
LA
that in just a
speaking at
minute.
high school, speaking to high school
but
kids.
what is
speaking
your
on the
what's your
flag
goal?
campaign,
Why does
speaking-
Skip Bayless look like a freaking like mummified Colin Cowherd? He does. Like he looks just like Colin Cowherd, just like 100 years older.
with a goal.
Richard, what's
100
your
years
motive
older, but trying to look 30 years younger than Colin currently. Does that make sense? I don't know.
here?
to be the best NFL corner in
Okay, but do
the
you
history of the
want
game.
to
That's
want to
it.
promote yourself into a bigger name, a household
have to
name,
promote
so
myself.
that you can
I'm a
do more
first-team All-Pro. That
commercials
promoted me
and,
enough.
and maybe have your own
Right, sir.
show?
Yep.
Is that your goal?
the first team All-Pro is my goal. I accomplished it. So
Has he been
that's
back
how
on the
I
show
feel.
since
Bigger and
this?
better things. Those are my goals. Those are always going to be my goals.
Like last year, did we play harder than the Heat? Is that what you think it was?
No, I don't. I think LeBron disappeared and shrank in crunch time of the fourth quarter, and I can just show you the numbers of what he didn't do in every
So
fourth quarter.
we get no credit for not putting him in a position to succeed, right? We played the Heat.
He put himself in. All he did was stand out on the perimeter.
Now, how do you think we defended that? Why do you think he was
There you
standing
go.
out there?
Force him out. Yep.
You didn't have to defend it.
Oh, right. So no matter
He
what
just
we
stood
did,
there.
he was just going to stand there and do nothing.
Well,
Yep.
that's all I saw. That was a lot
That's
of
exactly right, Chip.
And
Skip.
hope
That's
that
all
Dwayne
you
Wade
saw.
saved the day for him.
You're exactly right. That's all you saw. You didn't look, right? I mean, and that's a complete insult to
You're not
us to say,
analyzing
you know
the
what?
game.
The adjustments that
You're
we
not
made.
analyzing
What
it.
did you do to force him out there?
We
You're
had
an analyst.
like 6, 7 different types of matchups in our zone, right? And we played man-to-man, and we had a variety of different switches, right? So we knew that 90% of his shots were going to come from the left-hand side, right? We knew that if you gave him room from the left, he was going to drive. Now, we didn't have the athletes that Oklahoma City did, so we had to plan differently.
Sure.
So we need to make sure that we pushed him out away, and then we gave him different looks every time he had the ball, because just making him forcing him to make a decision, right, to think about what he had to do, taking the time to read.
Take
Are
him
we
out
in a
the
zone?
element.
What type of zone we're in? How are we matching up? What type of rotations are we in? Making him think made them pass the ball around the perimeter, which gave us a chance to adjust, right? Now, they're smarter. They're a better team this year. They deserve to win this year. But, you know, that's the way we played it. And so it wasn't just LeBron. LeBron actually played it right more often than not.
that is
He made the
perfectly
right
fine because I understand that. I am intelligent enough, capable enough to understand.
We still
that
going
you're
on with this?
Ignorant, pompous, egotistical, cretin, and that's really what it comes down to. And I'm going to crush you on here in front of everybody because I'm tired of hearing about it.
Not. He made the right pass to the right guy who didn't make the
Please
right
skip
play.
below,
And
man.
that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to get the ball out of their hands and into the hands of somebody else. We wanted him to play Michael Jordan and make somebody play Steve Kerr. Now, last night, Mike Miller.
They had several Steve
Yeah,
Kerrs
they
in
had
this
they had
series.
everybody stepping up, and they
Yeah.
deserved every bit. You know, so but
Okay,
you're not
let
you're
me-
talking generalities, and just
No,
to
I'm
say
not.
yeah, you are.
Okay, you spewed out some generality about
I'll
the
show you-
players don't care. Okay, let me tell you that for
Calm
a
down,
fact,
Skip.
and Stephen A. can validate this.
Don't bring
LeBron
Stephen A.
James
into
listened
it.
to what I said for about, what, 8 years? Because that's all I heard. He said I was his Howard Cosell. And this year, for the first time, to his credit, he tuned out all the noise. That's all we saw in the finals was he's reading the Hunger Games trilogy before the games. He's meditating on the bench before the games.
Hunger Games?
He tuned
They got a
his
prequel coming out, I heard.
This is a Skip Bayless special. LeBron lost last year because he wasn't paying attention to Skip Bayless. LeBron
No,
won
that's
this
not
year
true.
because he wasn't. That's
No.
what you just said.
Okay.
Did he not just say?
I think you're having a problem crushing me because you've avoided every question that we've asked you.
Oh.
Why
tired
you're
of your
engaging in so
pollution.
much
I'm
trash
tired of your
talk with
ignorant
Revis
pollution.
and Roddy and all the others.
I'm talking to you right now. This isn't
Man's
about
not saying
anything.
nothing, man.
So let's talk here, right now. I mean, you're bringing up old stuff. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about right here, right now. On the screen, it says 12 picks, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 NFL seasons. Let's talk about that.
Okay,
Until
Richard.
otherwise spoken.
Richard,
Stephen
you're
A.,
not
speak
letting
up, man,
the numbers
please,
speak
please.
for themselves. You're speaking for Richard Sherman again and again and again. You're taking away the focus of how good you were the last 2 years on the field because you're only becoming known for your trash talking.
Because you're not listening. You're not actually paying attention.
That's all I can do.
What you said,
I hear
what you
you
said
every
earlier
day.
today was apparent. It was obvious that you didn't watch the season.
I don't
you
like
didn't
when my
watch
parents
tape.
fight.
You said I'm not even in the same class.
That's how I feel right now.
You're not.
I feel like it's like a bickering, like, married couple right here. And it's just like, just don't say anything. Just go to your happy place. Just close your eyes, go to your happy place. Just let them go at it.
That's when you lose credibility. That's when you lose credibility.
No, I don't.
Because
I gain it.
you couldn't argue valid points to prove that. You couldn't argue anything. You could just say it. That's an opinion. And that's why your opinion is discredited, because there's no facts behind it. There are facts to everything I say. There are facts that support things I say. Explain to me your facts. I'm
About
listening.
Darrelle Revis?
Okay.
Did he not just say that?
Okay, here's what he didn't do. Here's what he didn't do against you guys.
Okay.
He let you off the hook because he didn't do what we saw him do for 4 straight games. He didn't drive through your zone and slash it up and dish. He didn't post up at all. This was a new deal. This was a new post-up game that we saw this year from LeBron. He shredded the Oklahoma City defense because he drove and he dished.
He really trying hard,
What kind of
man.
defense? When
he
he was
wanted to be
driving,
a
He's trying
pretty
hard.
jump shooter against you guys, and it played right into your hands because
He's like, please
he's
don't ask me a basketball question.
below-average jump shooter from the perimeter.
Okay, Skip. So when he was on the post, what were the different defensive schemes that Oklahoma City ran last night?
They used Cephalosha on him. They used Durant on him.
When he was in the post,
And-
what were the different defensive schemes that
And
they used?
Ibaka was supposed to come hard
He was
and keep him
supposed to
from
come
the
hard,
and
right?
he did not come hard. He let LeBron get to the rim repeatedly, and Perkins was nowhere
I
to
just
be
asked
seen.
a simple question.
Yeah, I just told you.
No, you
I
said
gave you a
so-and-so
simple
was
answer.
supposed to. No, they doubled from down, right? And they doubled and they passed and they hit their open shots, right? When they kept on doubling, they changed, right? Because they passed it out. Mike Miller hit open shot. But that's just one
Did
example.
he
Then
get
what
in
did
the
they do
lane
after
against
that?
you guys last year? Not at all. In the
So he
zone.
double
no,
teamed
why
LeBron.
did he
That's
play his
all you
zone,
got to
Skip?
say, Skip.
Well, again, I've seen him slash up any kind of defense when he feels like it.
Skip, one
He's
of the
a
things
freight
about-
train. You just said you don't have the athletes that they have.
Right, and that's why we play more zone than possibly Oklahoma City did, because we had smarter players.
Yeah,
not
man to man
necessarily
is more
as
athletic base. If you can, like, keep up and stuff. Okay, that's the end of the video there, guys. You want to know the saddest thing about this? Out of Skip Bayless's entire NBA analyst career, I should say sports analyst. I know he does covers other sports, but I know him mostly for basketball. I almost said NBA career, Loki. Yeah, 1 point Frank, I can do that for you. That was 2 takes. That was 10 minutes and 20 seconds, man. There's probably thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of recordedness of Skip Bayless being humiliated. And that was 2 takes, man. Damn.